Good morning and welcome to Leading Life Large. This is Robb Braun and it is Monday, January 14th, and we're already a couple weeks into the new year. Hope for you that you've got some momentum going and that, if you will, things are moving forward and moving toward what it is you're trying to accomplish for yourself, regardless of whatever your endeavor. So today I want to talk with you about what it's going to take to keep us moving forward with what we're going after. And it's going to be tied to purpose. So for those of you that don't know or haven't experienced the show before, this is Leading Life Large. It is your Monday morning opportunity to take a look at how your life is working, where you're doing what you need to be doing to be moving forward, and where you need to be doing something different. Hopefully each time you tune in, you'll hear something that you needed to hear, that you may not be doing for yourself, or you may be struggling with, or it may be exactly what it is that you need to hear to counter some of, if you will, the unproductive or maybe even destructive behaviors or inactivity that you're engaged in that's keeping you from living the kind of life you want to live. Ultimately, what we're talking about here for me and for you is a life that excites you, a life that is what you always imagined you could live. So I'm glad you tuned in. We hit awesome big numbers. In fact, biggest numbers ever last week. So for all of you that are choosing to tune in, for you, thank you. Thank you for choosing, listening to Leading Life Large. Thank you for choosing to listen to me. Thank you for yourself, even for giving yourself this opportunity to take a look at how you can live your life more fully. So the new year is well underway, and you know, I tell you, for me, there's this wonderful excitement, and also along with that a little bit of impatience, because things sometimes don't seem to be going as quickly as I'd like for them to, and there is forward movement. So for many of you, you might have also even experienced that for a lot of people, they weren't really back and up and going. Even last week, we didn't get everybody fully back. I know I was well engaged in my business, and my clients were raring to go, and so we've had a very, very productive week. For some of you, that may not be the case, and this might be your real first full week back, and you've got everybody back that you need to. So we talked about, or at least I talked about, how important it is that we've got purpose and passion that's going to drive us. Here's what I know to be true for myself, and honestly for any clients I've worked with, and for people that are successful out there, that have made forward movement out there in just about whatever endeavor we're talking about. And keep in mind that when I'm talking about success, I'm talking about success in our physical health, success in our relationships, success in our connection with Source or God, however you choose to define that. Success in our finances, success in our careers, success in creating a life that allows us plenty of play and relaxation and rejuvenation along with hard work. So it is all encompassing. And what I know to be true is that for myself, you know, every year there were goals that I had and things that I wanted to be able to attract into my life, and I was willing to do the work for that, not unlike today. And what I know is, throughout the years, what happened many, many times is the goals themselves were what I was going after, and nothing beyond. Or at least I wasn't connected to something beyond. An example with that would be if I were trying to lose some weight, or if I'm trying to work myself into being able to run a certain distance in a certain amount of time. I'm trying to increase my endurance and my distance. If I'm simply focusing on the number, the weight, the time, the mileage, the goal itself, and this can be any goal, but I'll use physical health as an example for this moment. So if I'm going after wanting to get down to, let's say, an ideal weight for me, which is probably around 185, 190 pounds, right? So that's what I'm going after. It's important that I do have a goal, because it helps me to know where I'm at in my progress. And we've talked about goals before. So it's important to know that this is what I'm going after, and it gives me some benchmarks. I can weigh myself or measure myself in the interim, and I can find out what my progress toward my goal is, and I can keep moving forward. Now, what I promise you is going to happen is there will be obstacles to my forward movement. There will be some obstacles, whether it's suddenly not having time to go exercise, or let's say part of that is having a particular eating regimen. That's not what I call a diet, but it's a new lifestyle, a new way of eating that, you know, eliminates maybe sugars or eliminates maybe wheat, whatever that is, right? So I'm moving forward, and what's going to happen is I am going to have times when I go to a business function or a social function, and nothing there is on my menu. Nothing. All the things that I have chosen to eliminate from my diet, that's what's on the menu. Or suddenly I've got a work project that's demanding much more of my time, and suddenly I find myself struggling to be able to find time to get to the gym or to go run or to go work out. These are those obstacles to our forward movement. Or the weather gets cold. I know I can't complain too much because of some of the parts of the country that many of you live in, but I know here in Southern California we've had some cold days. And I know this morning was 25 degrees, and they say a projected high of in the 50s. For us, that's cold. So that could be an obstacle to my getting out there and running if I'm not a cold weather runner, if that's my deal. So these are the obstacles, and they're going to get in the way. It's real easy that, you know, my day went a little long, and instead of having daylight to run, it's suddenly dark, and that could be an obstacle. And it's dark, and you know, when it's dark, I actually just want to get home, and I want to get into the safe confines of the coziness of my home. Maybe I'm looking at that first cocktail or whatever it is that I enjoy in the evening, and rather than going out and doing my run or my workout, I choose something that's a little more comfortable. These are the obstacles, and they're going to happen. Demand of our time. For me, recently I have a finger that's not working real well, my pinky, and I got a strained tendon in there, and that could easily become an obstacle to my working out or my exercise. If I had a particular exercise regime, and it's either that or nothing, and that could be an obstacle. So these are going to come up. It's natural. And I just use physical exercise. It could be in our finances. One of the obstacles could be that I had a client lined up and the client delayed, which, by the way, I had that happen last week. We were supposed to start a client up in, where was it, San Robles, California, and Paso Robles, and they postponed, right? They just said, we're restructuring, we need to wait 30 days, so that's an obstacle, right? It's an obstacle to my forward movement toward building my business and ultimately increasing money flowing in, right? So that's just one example. And in everything we go to do, there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be resistances. There are going to be things that are going to come up that will get in the way of us going after what we're going after. They're going to happen. Now, you can call them whatever you want. You can call them, you know, this is the universe testing me to see if I want this bad enough. Or some of you might even go into this, woe is me. You know, this is where I'm moving forward to, and damn it, you know, this came up at such the worst time, and I can't believe it. I really wanted this, but now it's not going to be able to happen. And for some people, and maybe you, that may already be happening. So we already know the obstacles are going to show up in life. And if you will, that is life. That's life. And that's how I've really learned to frame that, is that's life. That's life. I could get a notice in the mail, you know, tomorrow that I'm actually being sued for something, right? That's life. Now, that's not me trying to make that happen, but those things happen. So what happens for me and for all of us, if I'm attached to, or my focus is weighing 180, or my focus is losing the 20 pounds, or my focus is making 50,000, 100,000, 300,000, whatever dollar amount I'm going after this year, if that's my sole focus and that's my purpose, obstacles, stories, excuses, reasons are going to derail me, and they're going to take me off. Because if all I'm going after is the primary objective, and if my primary objective is the goal itself, I'm not going to make it. It's not going to be enough. And that's not me saying to you you're going to fail. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's not enough. It's not enough to go after the goal. The goal is a way to help me to be able to get to something bigger, which is, take the example of my health, which is overall good health. And if I have overall good health, that means my joints feel good. And I've got the stamina to be able to keep up with, one day I'll have grandchildren and I want to be there to be able to play catch with them. Today with my 13-year-old son, I love playing catch with him. I love having the ability to go out there and do that where my shoulder's not too sore because I'm suffering from bursitis, or my elbows are too sore because I've got tennis elbow or whatever that is. And I can still throw a baseball with my pinky not working here. But the idea is I've got to have a purpose, something far grander than the goal that I'm going after. And let's just take money, for example. You might say, well, Rob, money's what we're going after, man. Well, let's say that is what we're going after. And I am too. I'm always seeking to be able to increase my flow of money coming in. But doing it for the sake of money, the goal of making $250,000 or $500,000 or maybe $1 million this year, if that's what my goal is, that's not enough to get me past the obstacles or get me past the resistance, or when my head starts working against me, the stories that I use for not following through, or the destructive or the behaviors that I engage in that take me away from what I'm going after. The money alone is not what's going to get me there. What's the money for? Well, in my case, the money is for trying to set us up so that my wife can retire from her job a year from this coming March. The money is for I can continue to take regular vacations with my wife and my son so that we can have that wonderful time together that's not about work and school and all of the kinds of distractions. That's all connection time. That money is for a place that I want to buy our next home so that Linda and I can go into what's called semi-retirement, meaning a place that we can go to and spend some months out of the year where we're able to kind of disengage and turn our motors off for a little bit and just be. The money is for a lifestyle. The money is for relaxation. The money is for my spiritual health, so that I can do the kind of things that I want to be able to do and be able to offer that for my wife and my son. The money is for so I can plan my next coaching program or speaking gig to be able to go out there and help more people get what they want in life. So that I have the availability to be able to create my own schedule, so every Monday morning I'm able to be here and do this for you. There's got to be purpose for why I'm trying to make the money. There's got to be purpose for why I'm trying to get to 180 pounds. There's got to be purpose for why I'm trying to deepen and strengthen my relationship with God or Source. There's got to be something beyond that I'm going for, purpose. And when I have got purpose, that's when I tap into my passion. That's when I get excited, because I've got something that I'm going after. I've got a dollar amount that's going to create a lifestyle for me. I've got a physical health that's going to allow me to be able to travel to places and engage with my family and ultimately my extended family when it's grandchildren and beyond. All those things are my purpose, my reason why I'm going after what I'm going. I'm going after a particular career because it's in alignment with what it is that I love to do on the planet. So your career might be that you're going after photography. You were great at it and you did a lot of it when you were younger, and you're in a position right now where by actually learning how to make a business of it, you've actually found that what you're able to do is find that you can actually do your photography, not just do it, but practice it, increase your experience with it, master it, and monetize it in a way that you're able to live a life that is joyful, that you love going to work because your work now is wrapped up in your passion. And that is purpose for then going out there, social media campaign, whatever that is. So the goals are important, and I've stressed it enough. We can't do it without goals because the goals are the stepping stones. The goals are the next step. The goals help us to if you will, to make practical our efforts and our energy so that we know what we're going after, right? The objective, that they're measurable and attainable so that we know that we can check it off and go, I've accomplished that, as we move on to the next thing. Now, if you're not sure about how to set goals, please go back and look. A few weeks ago when I did one of my Leading Life Large programs was Smartest Goals, and it'll give you all the structure for how to set wonderful goals. But once again, the goals for you and I, they're going to help us to get there, but they're not going to get us through the tough times. It's purpose and ultimately passion, excitement for what we're going after that's going to get us to reaching our goals and ultimately living out our purpose. So, recap, in order to be able to get through the resistance, to get through the stories, to get through the obstacles that are going to be placed in our way in going what we're going after, let's make sure we're clear about our purpose. And when we've got purpose and when we're clear about what we want, that's the impetus for excitement and passion, and will get us through those tough times. It'll get us out of bed when we're a little tired. It will help us to make those difficult phone calls when we've got to make those in order to be able to monetize our business and increase our client base. It's our purpose and passion that will get us through that tough stuff. So if you're not sure about what that is, spend some time identifying what your grand purpose is. Why are you doing what you're doing? And if you're not sure about it, talk to somebody about it. Use me, please. Engage with me. Call me up, email me. Let me know how it is I can support you in getting clear on what your purpose is for why you're doing what you're doing. So it leads into something right now I didn't want to forget to share with you because this is the last morning I can share it with you. I am starting a 90-day program beginning this Wednesday. It's all internet. It's a webinar. I priced it completely affordable so as many people as possible can participate in it. I'll make sure to leave the link here. If you want the link and you don't have access to it right here, give me a call, 951-234-3351, or email me, Robb, 2 B's, R-O-B-B, at theleadershipsource.com, and say, hey Robb, send me the webinar that introduces the program and the link, and I'll send that to you. All right? And there's no obligation here, but that's a way to be able to find out if maybe this is exactly what you need to help plug you into purpose and get you clear so that you can have the success. What I promise you is that the program, 90 days, you will have success like you would not have otherwise had if you'd come on board with me. So ride my coattails this year. I got some big, crazy stuff I'm going after this year. I'd love for you to be a part of it. So that's one of the ways that you can. So with that, this is Robb Braun, Leading Life Large, reminding you that tomorrow is not promised. Today is the day, so begin now. Remember, we've got this one lifetime, so there's no other time when we get to do all this stuff. So now is the time, and this one lifetime is your chance to live your life the way you were supposed to live it, to lead and live your life large. Robb Braun, Leading Life Large, saying thank you and have a fantastic week. Remember, plug into that purpose. Okay, bye-bye now.